Good morning, Harmony teachers. Okay. Thank you guys for checking in with me. I'll be sending this recording out as soon as we're done. But I wanted to have this quick webinar with everybody for two main reasons. Number one, I wanted to remind all the Harmony teachers out there, all the support options that we provide, um, how you can access them, and if you're struggling, where to reach out to get support. And then the second half of this, anybody who's on the actual webinar this morning who has not joined their workshop yet, I'd love to get them into their workshop. A lot of you have already gotten access to the course, but that is because we had to do things a little differently. There's two ways you kind of joined UTeach through Harmony, and that was you either attended the summer workshop, where we taught you the content over 5 days, we taught you about Codio, we eased you into the course, and then the other way was you guys just kind of got access to everything after the school year already started. So for those people, we got you access to the course. You met with me. I got you in. You watched a video or two, and then you met with me again, and we got your classes set up. But I want to kind of reach out to you now because I think there's a lot the Codio platform offers you, a lot you can be doing as teachers, and I wanted to make sure everyone knew the full potential of everything that we have. So what I would like to do is I would like to share a document with everybody. This document you could find at the file, and I'll put this information, a link to this document in the YouTube webinar video that I release right after this. But yeah, just let me let somebody else in. So the document, I'll put a link to it in the Zoom chat box. This is what we'll be using today. And if you join the workshop with me later, because you haven't completed it yet, you'll get access to all this material as a module in the workshop. All right. But first, let me share in the Zoom chat box our link to what we're going to review today. And like I said, I will put this in the YouTube description as well. Okay. All right, so even though this is a PDF, it's a live PDF, I'm actually going to scroll through everything in my Codio course. Awesome, we got people coming in. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, so make sure that you go into the Zoom chat box, get a copy of the PDF. I'm going to review. I'll just drop it in one more time. If you have any questions, feel free to just, hit the virtual raise your hand and unmute. Feel free to interrupt me. So let me just jump right in and get started. All right. I want to thank you guys again for joining me. All right. So are you feeling stuck? Let's fix this together. No joke. In the last 30 days, the last 30 school days, I should say, I've had 77 support meetings with Harmony teachers just like you. So if you're still struggling, ask yourself, have you been one of them, right? A lot of you reach out for me for email. That's fine as well. But I am here all the time just to work you through your problems. All right. So I like sharing this in the beginning because if you've met with me like 8, 9 times, you're not the only one. A lot of people do that. If you've never met with me after we first met, you should reach out to me. Okay. Now, it's real easy to reach out to me. Okay. In Codio at the top of your screen, when you're in the teacher side there's a help button. And through that help button, you could shoot me emails or you can access my calendar. Okay. If you click right on this link, it opens up my calendar. You just got to choose any time you want and just have a quick meeting with me. You don't have to meet with me for 15 whole minutes. You can meet with me for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you need. All right. However you work, I work. You want to email me instead? You can email me. But the point is, any single issue you're having, if you reach out to me, we can come up with a solution. And guess what? If we can't come up with a solution, we can pressure Codio into coming up with a solution. For example, I think the Codio platform, when they updated this summer, didn't allow us to like sort our assignments by student last name. It was only like by student first name. And I reached out to Codio immediately and I was like, hey, teachers don't like this. Like normal, they were like, it's just Jason being Jason. He's complaining. But then when I had 3 teachers follow up after I made the initial complaint, they're working on it right now as we speak to make sure that we can sort by first and last name. So anything you guys want, we can make happen. We just got to work together. All right. So that's how you can get in touch with me. I've been meeting with you guys, a lot of you, for a long time. Every time I meet with you, we take it a little step further. You feel a little more comfortable. Okay. Now, the next thing that I want to share with you is I have a YouTube playlist, brand new, specifically for mostly for Harmony teachers, but I'm sharing it with everybody. And if you click this link, you will access the YouTube playlist. And this is all in the PDF. Okay. And I'm going to share all the links in the YouTube description, for the recording. So I want you to take a look at this. Okay. These are the videos so far, 5 videos that I released to help you guys out getting used to Codio platform. Now, you could see from the first video, I've had 124 views. Now, that's my deep dive into the Codio dashboard, the settings, and you guys have watched that and you guys have done great with that video. If you haven't watched that video, you got to watch it, okay? The procedure to get all the people who got access to UTeach once the school year already had begun was reach out to me, you meet with me, I get you into the course. After I get you into the course, I ask you to watch this video. I ask you to have a follow-up meeting with me and tell me how you want your course to look, and then we work together to get that perfect. Now, the following videos that I'm going to talk about, you could see the views have dwindled off dramatically. And it stinks because these are the videos that you really need to be watching. It's the videos that kind of talks you through that LMS integration, which if you met with me in the workshop, I told you don't do it. It's not clean. Okay. Um, a lot of you just ask me, can I do this? Can I do that? With our assignments, with our content, with ChatGPT, the ability to edit our assignments, you can do these things in minutes, edit our stuff. Um, you want to stop cheating in your classroom? It's virtually impossible to cheat when you're doing Python or Java with our platform and with our course. And if you're still struggling with that, I made a video that you should have watched. My videos are never longer than 20 minutes, except for the first one. I know attention spans. Nobody wants to watch something long, but 11 minutes, 9 minutes, 20 minutes, 17 minutes. If you guys watch these videos, I promise you, you'll learn something you didn't know was possible using Codio and using our platform. Okay, so what's inside this playlist? Okay, the first video, like I said, you guys have all kind of watched it. It's getting started with Codio, how to open assignments, navigate the dashboard. Okay. The other video is about exploring the teacher dashboard, creating assignments, tracking student progress. All right. All of these things are being covered in these videos. That's why I say they're must watch. Right now, how to grade assignments in Codio. This video over here walks you through how you can grade assignments in Codio. Now, since I have you guys here, okay, I wanted to point out one thing about how to grade assignments in Codio. And I'm going to take you into a sample course real quick to show you this. Okay. And I'm just going to use my Harmony workshop that I did over the summer because they did a lot of work. Okay. Now, when I tell you people, this is how you should be grading, this is how I do it. All right. I click on the assignment. Okay. I see all the students. All right. Who needs to complete the work? I click on that student's name. And then if they have to grade any of the assignments, it'll tell me I need to grade it right over here. And a lot of you probably watched my video because a lot of people watched it, half of you. Um, and this is the grading interface. Okay, when you're just trying to grade an assignment, you can scroll through your students' names in the bottom left corner here. Okay, you never have to open the assignments to grade. It pulls out the question, the answer, and the student answer. So the rationale and the student answer. And if it's right, you click 0. If it's if it's incorrect, you hit 0. If it's right, you hit correct. If you want to move through the questions in the assignment, you click over here on this side. All right. And then what I told you was use the grading queue as kind of like your safety net. A student is absent, they hand something in late. You don't want to have to keep clicking and opening up all these assignments. So instead, I told you about the grading queue right down here in your course. Okay. Now, in your grading queue, you can sort and you can be really versatile. So some of you might want to start thinking, you know what? Maybe instead of grading by assignments, maybe I do want to start using this grading queue instead. So let me show you this. When you're in your grading queue, all the ungraded assignments that you have will appear over here. Now, if you click group by assignment, it's literally going to take it and group it by the assignments that you would see in your normal overview over here. Okay? That's what you would see over there. So with all these days over here, you can now just say, okay, I want to grade an assignment. I just have to come over here, click on it, and it'll open up the class and only the students that I still need to grade. Okay? Now, if you don't want to group it, you click do not group, and then you can sort by any of these characteristics here. So maybe you just want to click on the student name so you can grade everyone's, all the assignments that one particular student has handed in. Okay. Maybe you want to sort by the assignment name here. So you don't have to click group by assignment. You can just click over here. And then that still lets you be more versatile. So some of you might want to rethink how you're grading. Do you want to actually go into the assignment or do you want to come down here into the grading queue? And this video, how to grade assignments in Codio, it kind of walks you through that. All right. So like I said, we had 124 people watch the first video and then it drops down to 50. Okay. So ask yourself, were you one of those 77 meetings I took with Harmony teachers in the last 30 school days? All right. Because I'm here to help. Now, the next one. Okay, the next video, Codio LMS integration. This is the video talking about how you can integrate your course with Google Classroom, Schoology, Canvas, whatever LMS monstrosity you're using. But I also told you this in the workshop, and when you met with me and I got you access to the curriculum, I said to you, you definitely don't want to do the LMS integration unless you kind of have to. Because I told you it's not neat. It can make a lot of things go wrong. And it did for a lot of you. A lot of you, your students couldn't join properly. Half of them got in. The URL disappeared. And if you reached out to me, we got you through those issues. We got all your students in. Okay. Some of you met with me 5 times, but we got it done. Okay. So LMS integration is over here. LTI LMS integration. And, all you have to do if you didn't like the integration and you want to get out of it is just shut it off. Here was the toggle to turn it on. If you did the connect to Google Classroom button over here, well, then, another one opened up and said disconnect or unconnect from Google Classroom. And you could just click on that. All right. So there was always ways to back out if you did the LMS integration and you didn't like it. And if you're at that point right now, just reach out to me. We'll get you over that hump. Okay. So that's the LMS integration video. Now, these 2 videos, and unfortunately, they have like only 15 and 17 views each. These are the ones that can really, really, really help you out in the classroom. Okay. Because I know a lot of you, number one, want to stop cheating and just straight plagiarism in your class. And I also know that you want to be able to use our platform to help you do that. All right. To make your assignments better, to help you out. So these last 2 support videos that I've made so far, 5-minute fixes. And no, we're not going to watch it. Don't worry. Okay. But I want you to look at the description of this video. Okay. Are you tired of students copying from earlier periods? Wish your assignments were less wordy. Hey, I've already gotten emails from you. My students don't want to read this much. I know, that's why we put quick bit videos in our course. They still don't want to read this much. All right, it doesn't mean they don't want to read. What it means is they don't want to read the way we have it laid out in our course. I'm just going to say these are AP classes, these are CS classes. The way we write the course is the best way your students will learn the material in a manner that they'll pass the exam at the end. But hey, you can literally take our entire assignment, paste it into ChatGPT and say, can you make this less wordy? My students hate to read. And it'll rewrite it. It'll make it more like chunky, the way they scroll through Instagram and read and TikTok and read in chunks. It'll do that for them. And here's the best part about ChatGPT and AI. When you hit that little copy button in it and then just want to paste that in edit mode in Codio, it already does it in the markdown, the markup, the markdown language. So it'll look exactly the way it does in ChatGPT. Nice icons that are pretty, awesome. Bold print, awesome. It all copies right over. Okay. That's what I show you how to do in this video. I show you literally how just to go into edit mode in our assignments, cut out the content, put it in ChatGPT, paste it out. These take less than 5 minutes to do. So when you reach out to me and say, hey, my students don't want to read, I'm going to come back at you and say, hey, listen, you have an advantage. You have a curriculum that already has the content laid out perfectly. Use it, adapt it to make it so your students want it. All right. If all your students are speaking Farsi, take our assignments, ask ChatGPT to translate it into Farsi and have duplicate our assignments and have a Farsi version. Okay. A Mandarin version, whatever languages your students are speaking. So in this quick, I mean, geez, this video is quick, 20-minute video. I show you all these 5-minute fixes that you can be doing with AI, okay? Where it'll help your classes run better, all right? You tired of your students copying from class period to class period? Let me show you something real quick. Okay. Let's say you don't want your students to copy from class period to class period, okay? Let's get animated. Let me go to edit mode. Now, if you open up an assignment in edit mode, and if you've never been in here before, I'm going to put the magic password in the chat box right now. That's how you get access to it. Edit UTeach, capital U, capital T. Yeah, it wasn't that creative. It's like in Spaceballs when the luggage code was 12345. Can't believe they're making a Spaceballs too. Okay, so now I want you to take a look at this assignment, and at some point, we are going to hit embedded questions. Okay. And I have teachers reach out to me and say, I do multiple class periods. How do I do this? How do I switch this up? All right. So here's how you can make a totally different version of this assignment for another period. Okay. Let's hop out real quick because rule number one of ever making up new assignments is duplicate the assignment and then mess with the duplicated one. Let's get animated. I'll call this period 8 because Lord knows by period 8, answers have been out in the wilderness forever. All right, so let's click on period 8 assignment, right? Codio has a built-in function that allows you to regenerate our questions. So we're testing the same concept, but it'll look different for your students. So let's go to the second page of this assignment. I click edit. I know when there's an assessment question because they're blue. They come up as blue. All right. And all I have to do is click on the question and it opens up. And notice down here in the bottom right-hand corner, it says regenerate. Click regenerate. Now you don't even have to give it any information, but I will. I like to talk. I want you to regenerate this question so it tests the same ideas, but the question is different because my students cheat from period to period, and by period 8, the answer is out there. Now you don't have to do that, but you can. And now when I click regenerate, it'll simply regenerate this question. Like I said, you don't need to do it, okay? And then you just click approve, and now you have a totally different question so the kids can't copy from period to period. All right? Hit save, move on to the next question. Hey, maybe you just have a lot of kids in your class who speak Spanish, right? Translate this into Spanish. Okay, so you can have a whole version of a test where the questions are translated into Spanish already for you. All right, you can see it did it right over here. You click approve, hit save. All right, and now when I hit preview, you'll notice for these questions, we have totally different questions. This one looks kind of the same as the other one, but it's totally different. This one's in Spanish. Okay. These support videos are here to help you. Okay. This platform is insane. Anthropic, if you want to be totally AI nerd, is built into the back end of this platform. Okay. You can create an entire assignment using a magic wand. All right. This is all in my 20-minute video. So watch my video. You can be doing quick fixes like this. Okay. All right. So that's the 5-minute fixes video. Now, the last one, teaching smarter. Okay. Codio's built-in defenses against plagiarism. Right. Now, the two main things that I've basically showed everyone, and I'll just remind you that they exist again, is for Python and Java on our platform, we have built-in code playback. Okay. That means you can go back in to any assignment and watch your students coding. Okay. So let me open my processing a list assignment over here. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I got to be in overview. I'm still in edit mode. There we go. All right. So I'm going to start off open students project. If you ever want to access code playback, all you have to do is open up the student project, go to where the coding assignment is in the assignment. Okay. Here's the coding assignment right over here. It says list.py. Py, it's a Python file. .java, it's a Java file. It'll always be up here. All right. The answer, the student feedback is also here in this tab, but here's the tab of the actual file. If I right click on this, I can then click code playback. I can then watch my students coding. Okay. What better feature is there than that to stop copying and plagiarism when it comes to coding? Okay. If your students cut and paste, you'd see a giant blip pop on the screen. Thank you, Sanchez. You did an awesome job on this assignment. I'm able to use you as a demonstration. All right. So you will be able to, first line of defense on plagiarism and cheating when it comes to coding is this right here. Okay. Code playback. Now, you don't even have to go into code playback. Okay. There is a feature. If you go here under basic settings, under basic settings, there is something called behavior insights. Behavior insights is 99% of the way for coding assignments. And what it's doing is it's taking code playback and it's giving it steroids. It's tracking so much more stuff that it's literally going to be able to tell you without even looking at the assignment, did the student do it? Okay. So let me show you how this works. You can even have it on or off for the entire course. I choose to leave it on. There's no harm in leaving it on. So let's take a look. Notice from my processing list assignments that I have a column called behavior, and there's different colors. Okay. And obviously, and I'm not here to like embarrass anyone. I told the people who knew how to program, you didn't have to do this. You could just copy and paste. All right. So, the teachers who didn't have a lot of experience had to do it. All right. But the real thing I wanted to show here is the behavior insights, how it functions. Okay. We just watched Sanchez. We know Sanchez did this project. Okay. So this is what Codio does for you. It takes 5 different parameters, looks at it, and then tells you with a color code what they think. So time spent. Yeah, Sanchez did this. Sanchez spent an hour and 6 minutes doing this. All right. Now, student speed of programming is uncharacteristically fast for a thoughtful program. All right. But here's the big part. Okay. Here's what you're going to love. Not only will behavior insights tell you if your students pasted code, they'll tell you which lines they painted. Notice Sanchez didn't paste nothing. Okay. Sanchez did their work. Coding versus debugging time, insertions versus desertions. Okay. So based on all this, Sanchez is good. Yellow. Now, red in life, like anything else, usually means bad. Okay. The 2 minutes and 9 seconds was spent on this assignment. Okay. And there was a lot of pasted lines. Which pasted lines? Those pasted lines. Okay. It'll tell you the lines that they pasted. So why am I showing you this? You should have already showed your students, if you're doing Python and Java, that you have this Jedi-like ability and that you can see when they did their work and when they didn't, and they will fall in line and begrudgingly do the basic coding you're asking them to do. This is behavior insights. Okay. Now, if you're not doing coding, at the very least, the platform is going to tell you how long your students spent doing their work. So here I have coding skills, animated movie. Okay. This doesn't work. Okay. Behavior insights really doesn't work when you're not doing text-based coding, but you can look at this and at least say, all right, they spent 56 minutes doing this assignment. Okay. They spent 1 minute. They spent 26. They spent 38. The reason I'm showing you this is because you will be able to share with your students. I know how long you did the work for. Don't come in and tell me you did this work all night long. You did the assignment for 3 minutes. Did you use Codio Coach, our built-in AI helper, to get you over the hump? All right. So you have the time you can talk to your students and at least let them know, I'm not going to give you credit. I did the assignment. It took me 27 minutes. If you don't do it, give me at least 20 minutes of that assignment being at the minimum open. I'm not giving you credit. Okay. All right. Let's start using the tools that we have and letting our students know we have the tools. Be transparent. Okay. We're not here to be like, gotcha, haha. No, like, dude, I know this stuff. I'm tracking data. This is the CS class. Don't lie to me. Do the work. And now the worst part. This really cool plagiarism button right here does not work for our course. Okay. It does not work. It's not what we use. It's not something, we have auto grading for our Python and Java assignments already. We don't need to use this. Okay. And we can't use it. It's a misleading button. So don't use it. It's not magic. Some people email me and go, hey, is this the magic button? If I click on this, it'll tell me if my students did work. Did they write the essay? No, it's not. Okay. So ignore it. It's tempting, but it's not for us. Okay. So stop plagiarism. Okay. Tell the students how long they're working on assignments, when they copy and paste. And all of these things are just in these playlist video. Okay. They're all up in this playlist. And anytime you guys reach out to me with a question, I usually turn it into a playlist video. Okay. I'll usually be like, you know what? That was an awesome question. Everyone probably is thinking about that, but just doesn't have time to reach out to me. Let me send out a video. And listen, you have to know that I'm sending these out because in Codio, when I send these videos out, a giant green banner comes across the screen. Okay. And it tells you I'm sending you an announcement. All right. And then it literally has a beautiful message with icons and links to the videos I'm releasing. So I know you're busy, but man, if you just watch these few videos I'm asking for you, your Codio experience is going to be so much richer than it is now. And if you struggle with anything, I'm here to get you over those humps. All right. So let me go back into the actual presentation that we're working on. And a lot of you have joined late, but thank you for joining. Saturday mornings, no stipends. I can't tell you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. All right. There is the link to the PDF, okay, of what we're working with today. All right. Now, after I'm done with you guys, I'm going to ask anyone who did not attend the summer workshop, who's dropped into this course after the school year began, to stay on the call with me. All right. I have to get you into your workshops. I have to tell you what assignments you need to complete so you get your certificate of completion. Just getting access to the course was half of it. You do have a couple of assignments to complete for me. All right. Now, let's go back in and move on. All right. So I left you out over here. All right. We just reviewed the Codio Confidence Hub portion. Okay. Now, just really quickly. Okay. I'm going to go into my next assignment here. And then we're not going to review all of these things. I'm just sharing this stuff with you. Okay. College Board resources. Okay. I'm actually impressed with how many of you are using AP Classroom. Already have your classes set up, already are like eager to use it because AP Classroom is really important. Hey, listen, if you're teaching cyber, pay attention because it's coming next year. They're going to release a cyber course. We're going to align to it. And then you guys at your school are going to have an AP pathway, CSP, CSA, and Foundations of Cyber. All right. But we are ahead of the game here at UTeach. We're always ahead of the game. Okay. We already have aligned CSP and CSA to the AP classroom. Okay. So let me show you what that means first, and then we'll actually go in the AP classroom. Okay. We have in the AP classroom, there are shared quizzes. We've designed the shared quizzes for CSP, and I think we have some for CSA as well, not as many, where we've made up the quiz. We literally tell you in our lesson plan, click on this link, share it with your students in AP Classroom, and have them do it. Okay. So that's the like home run. Oh my God. UTeach has made up the quiz for us. Love them. Okay. Question bank. Next layer. The last page of every single one of our assignments is this really mishmash technical page called Essential Knowledge Alignment page, something like that. It's a necessary evil for two reasons. Number one, it shows College Board where we align to their, CED. But more importantly, it tells you, the teacher, what you can click on in the question bank to sort out the questions to align to our assignment. So that's the other thing you can be doing. Okay. And then last but not least, there are full practice exams in there to give your students. Now, my AP CSP teachers, I'm going to remind you when I meet with you privately at the end that we've aligned the course to the 2021 exam. So I keep saying this, you can literally skip units 4 and 5, go to unit 6, and as long as you cover 1, 2, 3, Python bootcamp and 6, your students will be covered for the entire exam. All right. And then I do provide some examples or just instructions on how to log into the AP classroom. All right. But let's just dive in there for 1 second. Okay. In our curriculum, and let me go back to our course, that last page is where that necessary evil is. All right. So here's our, we'll use CSP. And I use CSP just because there's a lot there. All right. So here we're doing an assignment on procedures. Okay. And the very last page in this procedure assignment, in teacher view only, right? Because students would never have access to this page. So in teacher view, teacher only additional information. You can ignore the learning objectives, the EK statements, okay, even all this stuff. But the part you don't want to ignore is up here, AP Classroom. We're telling you in the AP Classroom that if you go to the big question bank that has 500 questions, and guess what? College Board just released a blurb, an announcement saying you can give your kids grades for any one of the questions in there from now on. So they used to kind of be like, yeah, you can give your kids grades for this, but not for that. It's all fair game now. So that's pretty cool, right? They have this whole entire thing. You can be giving your students quizzes, making them up. So this is where you want to look. All right. So let me just come over here and type in AP Classroom. Okay. Go to my login. I hope my login's right. Go to educator.
Jason,
Yes.
while you are logging in, just to clarify, so what did you say about the grading of the College Board assignments?
So grading with College Board in the past, and I'll show you this right now. So in the AP classroom, oh, come on, I already just logged in. What are you doing? Mhm.
So we
Like the,
cannot grade or we can grade?
You can give grades for any single question that's in the AP classroom from now on. So
Okay,
that's good news. Okay, yes,
just
that's
to
good
clarify.
news.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, great question. Um, Hopefully this will actually load eventually. But yeah, so all the questions are now fair game in there. In the past, there've been like these 22 questions that they kind of never wanted people to use. So in the question bank, I click on all questions. Now, question type. These PT formative questions, these 22 questions used to be in College Board like isolation. They wouldn't let you assign these to your students for a grade because the thought was it's practiced so that they do better on the create task written response. Now you can. So now it's fair game for everything. So now here's what UTeach assignment will allow you to do. You come over here to the assignment procedures and it tells you check off 21312. Let's start with that. 21312. So you come up over here to topic and you check off 2-1 and 312. And now 508 questions have gone down to 58 questions. Okay. I mean, right now, percentage wise, I'm an all star. Now let's go to question type and let's just say we just want a regular single answer multiple choice question. Okay. Now we're down to 48. Now we know 48 questions is a lot to look through, but it's a start, man. You could just start looking through questions right now. And maybe you just want one question to assign to your students as an exit slip ticket. So you say, okay, let me look at this comparing robot algorithm one. We've done that question earlier on. This sounds like something that I would want to assign to my students as an entry slip. All right. You know what? I like this question. All right. I'm going to use it. All right. So I click next. All right. And these are all the questions. All right. So then you can come up here. You can click add. Immediately, I can create a quiz. I'll call it September 29th exit slip. Hit create quiz. And now we just made up an exit slip. All right. And the you teach lesson, that last page is what we're going to use to filter it down. Now there's more filter options here. Okay. It also says check off 3C, 3B, and 4B. So let's start with 3C. Okay, if I come up here, I can check off 3C, and this is not a perfect science. Sometimes it actually backfires. But look at that. Now here's 8 questions. 8 questions that we just narrowed down from 500 that are aligned to this particular assignment. So if I wanted to, I could literally just start making a quiz based on that. All right. And then the other thing, like I told you, was UTeach has also already made up the quizzes for you. So in our CSP course, these are all the shared quizzes we made up and embedded periodically in our curriculum. And we did this for CSA as well. So if you go to the lesson plan for 1.3 algorithmic components, you will notice in the lesson plan, we say click on this link. We have a shared quiz that you can assign to your students. And we keep going. So there's 1 in 1.3, 1 in 1.7, 1 in 1.8, 1 in 1.9, and 1 in 1.10. You can give all of these for grades. So we've done a lot of the lift for you. We've made up these quizzes, knowing that if you just do all of our assignments the way they're laid out, that by the time you get to assignment 110, these are questions that are all appropriate for your students to be able to answer. And it's only 3 of them, but what a great way to check if your students understand what you've worked on up to that point and what you need to reteach. Okay. So this is how our curriculum aligns to the AP classroom. Okay. I mean, between that, between what we're offering, between behavior insights, code playback, I hope you're starting to learn that there's a lot more we can be doing. And if any of these things like interest you, just click on that help tab at the top of your screen, click on schedule a one-on-one call, reach out to me. I said this in the beginning. A lot of you are, hopped on a couple minutes late. In the last 30 school days, I've taken 77 support calls just with Harmony teachers. And that doesn't include your emails. Probably taken 100 emails. All right. Use my support. I'm here to help. Okay. All right. So now let's go back in to the last thing I want to cover with everybody. And then if you were in my summer workshop and you already completed and I sent you your certificate of completion, you could hop off the call. And then the people who are still on the call, I just want to get you into your workshops. Explain what's going to be required that you need to complete to get your certificate of completion. All right. Sakine gets access to all my grade books, so she'll be looking at your work too. All right. So let me just hop back in to what I'm covering today. Now, if you're going to be in a workshop coming up at the end of this call, you're going to have access to this whole module. You've got this, a beginner's guide to thriving with UTeach and Codio. So you'll be able to access the information I'm talking about today in the workshop. Everyone else can access it in PDF form in the Zoom chat box. And when I give you a link to the webinar recording from today, I'll put all the information links in the description. All right, last thing, okay? When you were in the summer workshop with me, I reviewed project-based learning with you and blended learning with you. And the reason I review project-based learning is because that's what our curriculum is written in. The reason I review blended learning with you is because blended learning is like 7 or 8 different instructional strategies. And we have AI, okay? And AI, you can just copy our lesson plan and paste it into AI and say, hey, redo this lesson plan for flipped classroom. Or can you redo this lesson plan for a 45-minute class period? Or can you take this lesson plan and our content and just generate a quiz out of it? Okay. AI stinks when you ask it to make a lesson plan because it's better at redoing stuff. It's better at iterating. It stinks if you ask it to make up an assignment on procedures because it really doesn't know it as great as an assignment that we already made up about procedures. It's better at iterating it. So this assignment that I have here that I'm not going to review with you, but you have the information on the PDF, and if you're going to be in the workshop, are different prompts that you can be doing with our content and curriculum. Right? I show you in the last video here, teaching smarter and smarter CS assignments, how just go into edit mode, copy and paste our stuff out of Codio into ChatGPT, and then click on that little copy button in ChatGPT, paste that back into Codio. You can redo all of our stuff. But here's just some like prompts, okay? For example, we reviewed this in my workshop, but when you're writing a prompt, be specific, know your audience, break it down. All right. And here's some sample prompts, but this is what I want you to be doing. Copy and paste this UTeach cyber lesson and adapt it for the flipped model instructional strategy with 3 15-minute activities. I mean, you could do so much. And the results are going to be tremendous because we already have a lesson plan. We already have really good content. So this assignment right here, all right, it's just different kind of CS related prompts that you can use to redo our stuff. Okay. All right. So I've thrown a lot out there for you guys. All right. What I'm going to ask anybody is if you have any specific questions, is to reach out through email. Okay. Right now we have people on all different levels on this course. Some of you have been through a 5-day in-person workshop with me. Some of you literally just got handed the curriculum and were told to go to it. All right. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to segue to the second portion of today's workshop. Okay. So the second portion of today's workshop is just for teachers who got added to the course after the school year began. So if you are one of the teachers who have, used me in the past or have attended the summer workshop, you can drop off the call right now. I want to thank you for attending. I'm going to send out this recording to everybody, so do not worry about that. My CSP teachers, please listen up. My CSP teachers, I am going to be having a webinar on October 25th for the Create Task people only. Okay, for my CSP teachers. Okay, you're going to get an email about that. Okay, this is an awesome opportunity. I did this last year. I did a Create Task Mastery workshop for anybody. You didn't have to be a UTeach teacher. You can use any curriculum. 250 teachers registered and attended. Now, here's the cool part. It's laid out in two ways. I do a 90-minute Zoom deep dive where I teach you how to use the UTeach curriculum that you guys have to do the Create Task. But if you want to, I also have 3.5 hours of additional assignments for you to do on your own. And if you do that, you get 5-hour certificate for PD hours. So it's either way you want to do it. Okay. But you guys, my Harmony teachers, I can't require you, but I'm going to volunteer you that you should definitely attend this. Okay. I will send you an email with more details to I'll send it on Monday. I'm going to send it through the platform. I'll send it directly to you guys, just like I did this webinar. And CSP teachers, please attend. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be great. It'll teach you how to do the Create task from start to finish. So don't worry about it. Okay. All right. So with that being said, all my teachers from the summer, you can drop off. If you have any questions, feel free to just unmute quickly and ask.